CPAC is the Conservative Political Action Conference. It culminated yesterday in an erratic and delusional crescendo with former President Donald Trump's first speech since leaving office on January 20th. The speech started, of course, 70 minutes late for no good reason, endlessly delayed, and was rife with all of the things we would expect from Donald Trump. Lies about what he did, lies about what he didn't do, lies about what Joe Biden has done so far, lies about what Joe Biden has not done so far, lies about immigrants, lies about COVID, lies about the economy, a victimhood complex that would be worthy of a few decades of psychoanalysis. And of course, yes, false claims that Donald Trump actually won the election. The speech was expected to be a Fidel Castro-like 2 hours or more. In the end, it was about 90 minutes. Trump appeared to sort of skip a bunch of the end when he and the crowd seemed increasingly bored by the things that he was saying. The crowd was also bored and silent during many parts of the speech. They were most riled up, and this tells you a lot about the state of the Republican Party. The crowd most titillated when Trump called COVID the China virus. They erupted with a standing ovation. When Trump claimed he won the election, the crowd went nuts. And when Trump talked about the new wedge issue of transgender women in sports, the crowd also gave a standing ovation. Those were the things that were most interesting to the crowd. I can't possibly cover the whole speech. I want to touch on some key moments. Donald Trump opened the speech by claiming that his presidency was the most successful in history. Despite losing and becoming one of only 10 one-term presidents, Trump says his was the most successful.
To so many wonderful friends, conservatives, and fellow citizens in this room and all across our country, I stand before you today to declare that the incredible journey we begun together, we went through a journey like nobody else. There's never been a journey like it. There's never been a journey so successful. We began it together 4 years ago.
Interesting to take a presidency with no accomplishments, a globally humiliating failure on the pandemic, and a huge electoral loss and call it the most successful. But OK, the crowd, I guess, liked it. Most importantly, Donald Trump making it clear he is not starting a new party. And the former president, rightly identifies that starting a new party would make Republicans lose for a long time.
We're not starting new parties. You know, they kept saying, he's going to start a brand new party. We have the Republican Party. It's going to unite and be stronger than ever before. I am not starting a new party. That was fake news. Fake news, no. Wouldn't that be brilliant? Let's start a new party and let's divide our vote so that you can never win. No, we're not interested in that.
So Trump's analysis there is correct. The best assessment is the reports were accurate at the time. Trump was thinking of starting a new party, but he was talked out of it for this reason, that it would fracture the right and they wouldn't win for a very long time, which was also our assessment of that idea. As usual, Donald Trump cites out of context and apparently meaningless polling numbers about how popular he is. He can't get away from this. Take a listen.
Mr. McLaughlin just gave me numbers that nobody's ever heard of before. More popular than anybody. That's all of us. It's all of us. Those are great numbers, and I want to thank you very much. Those are incredible numbers. I came here, and he was giving me 95%, 97%, 92%.
No one has ever been more popular than Trump, according to Mr. McLaughlin. The reality is Trump is the only president never to poll 50% approval throughout his presidency, and the only president to leave office with an approval so low. It was 29% approval when Donald Trump left office. And then, after all of these lies, Donald Trump pulls out the big lie that he won, and maybe he will even win the presidential election a third time, alluding to maybe running in 2024, and the crowd goes nuts.
But who knows? Who knows? I may even decide to beat them for a third time, okay? Beat them for a third time.
Importantly, though, Donald Trump did not announce his 2024 candidacy. It was rumored he might at yesterday's speech. He said he might run and that we'll see. We'll get to that later. Trump again claims that if the election had been fair, he would have won.
I said it Had we had a fair election, the results would have been much different.
And then Donald Trump launched another brutal but completely ignorant attack on wind power. You knew he would do it.
How bad is wind power? So I talk about it all the time at CPAC, right? We went to CPAC, remember last, I said, we're going to watch the president. Well, Alice, the wind isn't blowing. I don't believe we'll have any electricity. Remember, we would kid, but I wasn't actually kidding. It's such an expensive form of energy. It's so bad for the environment. It kills the birds. It destroys the landscapes. And remember, these are structural columns with fans on them. They wear out. And when they wear out all over the country, you see them. Nobody takes them down. They're rotting. They're rusting. How this is environmentally good for our country. And it costs many, many times more than natural gas, which is clean. It costs many more and can fuel our great factories. Wind can't do that. And
clearly, Donald Trump understanding nothing about wind power. That's the takeaway. Wind power is bad for the environment, and he says it kills birds. It's not bad for the environment. Wind turbines do kill some birds, but fossil fuel power kills way more animals. And Trump doesn't seem to care about that at all. It's merely a talking point that does well with the uninformed crowd. Then Donald Trump again claims he won the election twice and the crowd just loves it.
Famous for the rest of their lives. We won the election twice. I mean, think about it. Twice. The task for our movement.
And then Donald Trump introducing the new wedge issue gets a standing ovation. The issue is trans women in sports.
No, I think it's crazy. I think it's just crazy what's happening. We must protect the integrity of women's sports. So important. After.
He then went into a mildly transphobic rant about that issue, and the crowd re-energized by that. Now, this next part is really important. Donald Trump is not starting his own party. I mentioned that earlier. But he's going out hard against Republicans he doesn't like, Republicans he sees as not loyal enough to him. And he calls out a long list of Republican senators and members of the House here.
Democrats don't have grandstanders like Mitt Romney, Little Ben Sass, Richard Burr, Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Pat Toomey. And in the House, Tom Rice, South Carolina, Adam Kinzinger, Dan Newhouse, Anthony Gonzalez, that's another beauty, Fred Upton, Jamie Herrera Butler, Peter Meyer, John Katko, David Valadao, and of course the warmonger, a person that loves seeing our troops fighting, Liz Cheney. How about that?
So while Donald Trump did recognize that starting his own party would be bad for the right, he apparently doesn't think that attacking other Republicans will be bad for the right. Maybe he's right. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see what impact that has. But Trump going very hard against other Republicans, and then Trump plugging a website where you can give money. He now says he's committed to helping Republicans in 2022, and he has a website where you can donate more money. He pitches that next.
There's only one way to contribute to our efforts to elect America First Republican conservatives and in turn to make America great again, and that's through Save America PAC and DonaldJTrump.com. So go out there and do whatever you can, because we're going to help a lot of great people.
Now, based on his grifting tens of millions of dollars to, quote, fight the election results, which he just kept for himself just months ago, I'm skeptical that your donations to this new grift are really going to go to what he claims they're going to go for. And then as the speech started winding down nearly 90 minutes after it started, Donald Trump teasing that he might run in 2024.
With your help, we will take back the House. We will win the Senate. And then a Republican president will make a triumphant return to the White House. And I wonder who that will be. I wonder who that will be. Who will that be? I wonder.
So, yeah, the important takeaways. Trump has learned nothing. He's still repeating the same lies. The crowd still mostly loves it. So maybe it's the correct lies to repeat. I don't know. He's not yet committed to running in 2024, but he's not starting his own party. And he's very willing to attack Republicans who don't 100% lay down for Trump to walk all over them. Those are the takeaways. And beyond that, the bit players during the entire CPAC weekend mostly sucked up to Donald Trump, or at least avoided direct criticism of Donald Trump. So the overall takeaway is this remains the party of Trump for the time being. And Mitt Romney's statement last week that the nomination is Trump's if he wants it in 2024, as of today, March 1st, still holds true. Things can change. I still think that if a lot of these Trumpian elected officials like Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Madison Cawthorn, now accused by like 30 women of harassment during college, if they go down in flames in 2022, it starts to change the picture for Trump in 2024. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. After the break, we'll look at a few other key moments from CPAC. There weren't that many. And we'll also have more coverage of this on the show's Instagram page, rapidly approaching 100,000 followers on Instagram. You can find us there at David Pakman Show. One of our sponsors is Sussman and Hahn. Sussman and Hahn has everything you need when it comes to face masks and other supplies to stay safe during COVID-19. And Sussman and Hahn is the company that I've personally been going to for face masks and other PPE because I trust the products that they sell. And that's actually why we reached out to them about becoming a sponsor, because their prices are reasonable, ordering is simple, everything ships within 24 hours, and they just have high quality products for this global 100-year pandemic. They've got surgical masks, KN95 masks, N95 masks, other useful things like infrared thermometers, face shields, sanitizers. Sussman and Hahn is also an awesome company because they've donated over 65,000 masks so far to healthcare institutions. Shipping is free on orders over $150. You can go to their website by going to davidpakman.com/mask. The link is right underneath this video, and they'll give you 20% off when you use the coupon code DAVID.